In the recent past, actor Kamal Hassan has come out in support of Tamil director V.V.L.N.Sastry, who recently claimed that Rajaraja Chola of the Chola dynasty was not a Hindu king and that there was no concept of Hindu religion during the Chola era. V.V.L.N.'s remarks came just a day after the release of the film V.V.L.N. Sastry, which is based on a fictional novel inspired by Rajaraja Chola. The controversy later on turned out to be over Rajaraja Chola, Hindu king, and Kamal Hassan. Hence, today's topic, my friends, is to rationally find whether the claims of these filmy guys are correct or not. At the outset, let me tell you that the filmy guys, in their enthusiasm to promote V.V.L.N. Sastry, have failed in recognizing the well-documented history and created unnecessary debates for attracting the eyeballs in the promotion of a film. Early Cholas are the earliest Chola kings for whom there is a tangible evidence are mentioned in the Sangam literature. Scholars generally agree that this literature belongs to the late centuries before the Common Era and the early centuries of the Common Era. Some of the early Cholas are identified as V.V.L.N. of 2nd century and Kulakottan again of 2nd century, Illam Chetti Chenni, Karaikala, Nidunkilli, Nalankilli, Kalivalvan, Kopperun Cholan, Perunar Killi. These were all the Cholas of early period of 2nd century. Again, when we come to the medieval Cholas, it all started with Vijayalaya in and around about 846 AD. And then that continued till 12th century, and in between Rajaraja Chola could be traced to the period of 985 AD to 1014 AD. If we go by the logic of V.V.L.N., the dynasty of Rajaraja Chola I started in the mid of 8th century with Vijayalaya, the founder of Imperial Chola dynasty or the medieval Chola dynasty. So Vijayalaya was considered to be a feudatory of the Pallava dynasty, and he took an opportunity arising out of a conflict between the Pandya dynasty and the Pallava dynasty in 850 AD. And then he captured Tanjavur from Muttariyar and established the imperial line of medieval Chola dynasty. So Tanjavur became their capital, and Tanjavur became their cultural center, and Tanjavur became the center of great temples built by Cholas. So the temples that Cholas built were of 8th century origin. Again, the Cholas went into oblivion with Rajaraja Chola III and later because Rajaraja Chola III was found to be quite weak and therefore he experienced continuous troubles, and then the period of the Hosyalas started in south in the mid of 12th century. That means the Rajaraja Chola dynasty, what the Tamil director was claiming and what the Tamil actor Kamal Hassan was claiming that they are not Hindus was not correct, because the medieval period of Rajaraja Chola dynasty began in the mid of 8th century, and now to prove the point that they are wrong, let me take you to the periodization of the Indian religion. India's religion has seen various phases. Till 1750 BCE, it was based on traditions and based on Smriti, Stuti, Suti. In this era, humans used to interact directly with gods, goddesses, and angels, which is a way that culminates in prehistory. And then began Indus Valley civilization and Vedic period. Vedic period, which began 1750 BCE, was the origin of scripted religions. That is where the Rig Veda started. It is also called as Rigvedic religion period. And then the urbanization also began simultaneously, and that led to the decline of Vedic religion between 200 and 600 BCE. And the urbanization challenged the Hinduism, and that's where again a movement like Upanishads started and Puranas started getting transcripted. Okay, and over a period of time again around 5th century, Buddhism started because the Buddhist cult, which began with Lord Buddha, found Vedic tradition very tough to follow by the people, and then he revolted against the religious practices which were prevailing then and started his own path of religion. And soon after that, when the Mauryan Empire has taken over India, the decline of Vedic religion began again. This is where all traditions of India are brought under one umbrella, and the Hindu synthesis and classical Hinduism took its birth way back in 2nd century, that is 200 BCE. From 200 BCE, we can say and trace that early Hinduism word was coined. After that, we have seen over a period the birth of Jesus Christ, and that was the period correlated with the Guptas, the golden age for Hinduism, and then started the Jainism between 5th and it touched its peak in 7th century, and simultaneously started the Islamic religion in the post-mid period of 5th century. That's where the late classical Hinduism, that is the Puranic Hinduism, once again was brought into the forefront in between medieval and early modern periods, that is to say between 1200 CE and 850 CE. The Muslim rule has completely taken over India, and that's where again Bhakti Vedanta unified Hinduism and unified Eastern Ganges and Surya states. That's called as the early modern period. And modern Hinduism began after 1850 CE. This is where, in correlation with that, Britishers' rule began in India in 1858 and ended by 1947. What we need to find here is, during Britishers' time, the Britishers, though initially tried to encroach onto Hinduism and tried to convert Hindus into Christianity, but later on, at the suggestion of the Queen, they have abandoned the idea of converting Hindus. Rather, they felt that they need to grasp a lot of knowledge from Hindu Vedic religion and took our Sanskrit versions of Vedas, Puranas and Upanishads and then started translating into English. Now, what we can derive from this whole briefing is that a Vedic religion got synthesized with Hindu and the phrase Hinduism in 200 BCE and continued even after that. Hinduism is of much ancient origin, even it was before Jesus Christ. That is where, when we see the unsubstantiated claims of the Tamil director V.V.L.N.Sastry and supported by the actor Kamal Hassan, that Rajaraja Chola was not a Hindu, looks to be incorrect, because Rajaraja Chola was of the period of 985 AD to 1014 AD, and his dynasty began in 848 AD. So there is no substance in these people saying that Rajaraja Chola dynasty was not that of Hindus. In fact, they were very much Hindus. Even to correlate with the Hindu consolidation post Jainism, Islamic religions, Adi Shankara, who took birth in 7th century, some say he is of 8th century beginning origin, but irrespective of that, Adi Shankara unified all the people of India is an unquestionable fact. That being so, the medieval Cholas and their rule and their origin began post mid of 8th century. That being the case, even the Cholas are of post Adi Shankara's period. So Adi Shankara coined the religion of India or religion of Bharat as Sanatana Dharma. So the another way we recognize our Vedic religion, our Hindu religion, or Hinduism as a synthesis is also called as Sanatana Dharma. So whether you call it as a Vedic religion or Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism, they are one and the same because they follow the same traditions, and Hinduism is a combination of the various Indian traditions. Even if we wildly think the origin and the claim of V.V.L.N.Sastry and Kamal Hassan with the erstwhile Chola's period of 2nd century, even then we can say that at the beginning of 2nd century only, the phrase Hindu and Hinduism was coined. So we can conclude on evidence-based periodic data that Hinduism was very much prevalent right from say 1750 BCE onwards and will continue. The Tamil director Vetrimaran and the Tamil actor Kamal Hassan might have said whatever they wanted to, but whatever they said with reference to Rajaraja Chola and that he was not a Hindu was not correct. Finally, what I would like to say is, I request all the people of India to study the history and comprehend that not just from history's angle, but also take some knowledge from the Hindu Vedas. Maybe if you want to do it, you can do it in English also, because English version is very much available now. And you can also comprehend that from our Upanishads, you can comprehend that from our Puranas, and you can comprehend much with the history of the origin of Christianity, Jainism, Buddhism, Islam, and then say that this is what it is without doing some deep research into our own religion or our own traditions. If we tend to cut slipshod statements, those statements may create sensation for a while, but such kind of confusion is very much unwarranted. Thank you very much.